All right, so the next part, we wanted to make some user feedback. So we've got our upload functionality and our data visualization functionality, but now we want the user to be prompted when we do some changes. So that's like when we uploaded this, maybe we want like the user to know, all right, the data has been uploaded, and maybe like let's let's take the position of a designer here. How do we want this to look? So what I'm thinking is, well, we kind of want this to be grouped together in a box like we have here, sure. And then like here we have a plot, but we have lots of room over here for like some visualization, like an early visualization of the data that they upload. So like maybe a table of the data so they know what they are uploading. And then maybe down here we'll have like a small text box or something that tells them your data has been uploaded, or maybe if the data already, or we can like warn them to say like the data that they are uploading does already exist, and then just tell them it hasn't been uploaded because it does exist, or this name is taken, that's it's user feedback. So that's what we're doing today. We're doing user feedback. So let's go to our code. We'll go in here on the RStudio IDE. So we're going to work with our upload data. And the beautiful thing with having modules is, well, we can just go to our module code. And as I did, I made a folder called R, and in here I have my module upload. So all the UI, all the functionality is here. So that means whatever I put under the action button here, for example, that will be here right under the action button here, this button right here. So that's what we're going to be doing. So first of all, I think I just want the user to, so a good way to like prompt the user that his data has been uploaded, or that he's doing something at least, that is to just show him what he has done. So we're going to show him the data set, we're going to show a table of his data when he does it. All right, so let's say, so we want to, first of all, we want to group this into something. And then we're going to put the table beside it. So if we go back to our app.r file, you remember with the data visualization, we had these column UI elements. And that's how we like set or like how we ordered the UI. So we're actually going to do exactly the same, and I'm going to use the same parameters. So that means when I change between the tab panels, there won't be like a jarring change to the UI. They'll just look like some of the functionality or the possibilities or configurations have changed, but the structure is still the same. It makes it for a better user experience. So let's do that. So we're gonna put this into a column at least, and we wanted the width to be 2. And then what do we want in here? Well, first of all, I think we want it to be a well panel, right? Well panel. Good. Do this. Then I'm just going to put this inside there, right? This. And I actually don't need the comma there now. Here. All right. So now I've just set where how I want my upload like these parts to be, and I wanted a well panel around it, and I want it to be the width of 2. So see the previous episode or part where I like talk about styling and beautifying. So besides this, I want my table, and I'm actually just going to make it the same width as the plot is on the other one. And we don't need a comma here. So what do we put in our column? Well, we don't want a well panel now. We just want a table. So we're going to say, we're going to make an output, and actually we're going to say it's a table output. So we say table, and then give me a table output. What's the ID? So and we have to remember here, like we did with the inputs, we had to give it a, what's it called, a namespace. We're also going to give a namespace here. So this is we just call it table. That's the beauty of using namespaces. We can just call it the simplest form that we want, and then we'll always just refer to it on the simplest form, and it won't clash with other names that the app might have. So we can have table living outside of this namespace. Very good. All right, so all my upload file functionality is here. I'm just going to be putting my my table down here. So when we wanna show something from an output, we always call it like this, the output. And what was it? It was the table output. So this is our this is the output ID we use down here, just without the namespace, which is fully okay. Then we say we want to render the table. Great. And then I use curly brackets because I want this whole code chunk to run when, just at once or all at once, yeah. So first of all, so whatever data we put in here, so if I say empty cars now, it's just gonna render this table, empty cars. Whatever is in the bottom is what is gonna be rendered, right? So let's see how this works. Run. Oh, didn't work. Oh, of course, because I'm so. Always with these mistakes, we have to read or like update the RAM or update our reassign the upload and the upload UI variables. Let's try this again. There it is, and we can learn a lot of things about this. So first of all, we know that it's placed correctly, and we have got the well panel around here. But I mean, our user might upload a table that is thousands of lines, or like 5,000, or even who knows. We don't want this to go on down forever. We actually just want to show him maybe like the first 5 or 10, even the first 10 rows. So first of all, we have to remember, or we have to limit how much is being shown. So that's one thing. So let's just go and do that straight away. Well, first of all, I'll go into my module upload module. Sorry. Well, we of course don't want empty cars to be shown. We want this to be shown, right? This is our data. The data that the user uploads. So first of all, I'm going to be using the data that he uploads many times. So I'm just going to pull it out of. So instead of just writing whatever I'm reading in, I'm first going to make it a variable, and then I'll write it in. That means I can use it later down here. So read table, and we're just going to call it upload data, like that. And then I say upload data goes in right here. Well, actually, I kind of want the. Well, I don't want. My problem is now, this upload data variable lives inside this closure, and that means I actually can't access it from anywhere else. So I have to make this a reactive, and also is I kind of want to show the user this table before he presses the upload button, and that won't happen if I put it in here, because as we know, this one only fires when the user presses upload. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this outside of this, and well, you might have guessed it, we're going to make a reactive. So I'll call the reactive upload data, reactive, and this reactive will only have one thing. So I don't have to make it event reactive because there really is just one input that's in here. Event reactives should be used when you have multiple inputs in here, but you only want this code to run when the one certain input that you're interested in runs or is changed. All right, so we don't need this here. There we go. So every time the user just uses the upload input, this one will update, but this code won't run because it's still waiting for the user to press start upload. But what we can do now is that we can have the table here render. We can have it to render the table. Render the data that the user uploads. Great. So I'll just say upload data. Great. So that means whatever the user uploads is now going here. The thing is, of course, we don't have, when the app starts, we don't have the data. We have to think about these things carefully before, right? So we're going to say request that there is even an input upload data path, and maybe this may be redundant. I'm going to do it here as well. We don't have to run this until we have something in the data path, right? So request that there is something in this input. All right, so I'm saving this. I'm reloading it. All the changes can come in, and then let's see what happens in the app. Run the app. All right, so our empty cars data set is gone. Let's try this one. Right, and it uploads. Great. And now I didn't fix the one thing that I was talking about before, and that was that we don't want this to be this large, right? So let's make a fix here. Let's go to our upload module, and now how about this? Does yes, is that true? Head. So there's a function in R that is called head, and I think returns the first or last part of a vector, matrix, table, data frame, or function. So we are going to use head for the top or tail if you want the bottom. So I'm just going to say head, and then I want, so just show me the head of this data. So I don't know how much it's going to be showing. Maybe it's 5 or 10 rows. We'll have to test it. So we do this, and we run the app. And let's try this again. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rows are shown. And then we might just on the bottom here say like the data set goes on or something. So that's the first part where we now we have some dynamic feedback that tells the user that his data is here, what this data is, and it makes for a better user experience. So let's see what happens if I just change it, go to faithful. Oh, this was the faithful. So if I go to orange, it changes to that. Let's go to some other data. We can put the iris data here. It changes to this. Perfect. And then maybe we'll change it to that. When we press upload, this one goes away. Whoa, well, I broke it. What the? So now there's something totally wrong here. Ah, it's of course here. It's because we're trying to put a reactive into the right table. We can't write a reactive, but we can write the data of a reactive. That's what we do right here. So these are like typical mistakes that you do when you're coding or programming, and that you just have to keep like if you're thoughtful and you are methodical, you can get away with, you can get past all of these things. And always, well, I mean, it's not obvious to anyone who's new to this because what the error is. So it just says error in as data frame default cannot coerce class reactive expression reactive function to a data frame. So how did I know that the problem was here straight away? Well, I might have had a hunch first, but of course the first clue is reactive. Okay, so it has something to do where the reactive is, and I knew this one worked completely or fully, and I couldn't really, I didn't see any problems with this one. So I kind of narrowed it down to being somewhere here, and then I was looking, okay, where do I use a reactive in this this closure? Well, it was only here, and of course the thing that was missing was the parentheses, which means I wasn't calling the data of the reactive. I was only calling the reactive itself, which isn't data. It's like an object. So I'm gonna save that, and now it's running. All right. So next part I'm gonna be making a little bit more user feedback, maybe some validation as well, so that we know that maybe the file extension is correct, or that, as I said before, that make sure that the data hasn't been uploaded prior to this. So see you next time.